Welcome to the Wellness Help Desk with your host, Nikkei Modi, certified wellness coach and personal trainer. A wellness podcast focused on providing practical tips on how to curate a healthy lifestyle uniquely for you, where we discuss wellness hot topics with expert guests and have real candid conversations. It's the one-stop shop you need to get the help you've been looking for. Let's dive in. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Wellness Help Desk, episode 7. I am your host, Nikkei Modi, and I just realized I don't think I've been introducing myself in the last couple episodes, so hey, nice to meet you. But I am currently, life update, on my way to Phoenix. And for work, I'll be there for 4 days. And then I am going to head to Tucson to spend a week with a friend of mine. So excited. I took off for it. And fun fact, before the whole thing went down with my mom and being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I originally wanted to move to Tucson, but ended up moving to Columbus, Ohio. So I am finally kind of getting to Tucson almost 2 years later. So this is going to be a trip that I will not forget. I guarantee it. But today I am talking about a topic that I don't think people realize that they're even doing, which is interesting, but that the moment you start realizing it, the moment that you will start generating so much more momentum in different areas of your life. So I don't know about you, but when I first started making changes on my health journey back in 2019, I talked about that in episode 1, my story and my journey, how I wasn't always so health focused. And so when I started my journey back in 2019, I quickly saw all of the challenges before me. And keep in mind, I went from living quote unquote healthy to being aware of all the environmental toxins that surrounded me from our air, food, water, personal care products, and so much more. And so I found myself thinking, I cannot afford that yet, or I don't have time to commit to that, or how will I make all these changes? So in all honesty, I was stuck in being problem focused instead of solution focused. Now knowing what I know and the tools that I'm equipped with, that's exactly what was going on. And so our brain tends to point out the negative. It's not trying to be mean or spiteful. It's trying to keep us alive. And it's only working with what it has. So if you've been conditioned to point out the negative or hold belief or thoughts that aren't true, that's what your brain references. And I want to share 2 examples of this and how it can invoke feelings of overwhelm or despair and inevitably lead to inaction. So first, the move to Ohio. That was the most resistant move I've ever had to make. And for many, many reasons, one being the cold climate. But all I saw were obstacles. Okay, that led me to just be in a really deep, dark place, mentally and emotionally. And even more once I actually got there, it just almost hit me like a ton of bricks because it was like I was no longer distracted by all the logistics. And I was faced with the reality of I actually moved back to Ohio. And so I felt so alone. I felt forgotten and mad that bad things always seem to happen to me. This is just the thought that was just running on repeat in my head. All I saw were the problems, the challenges, the things that I didn't want. Another story that comes to mind when I think about when we're problems focused and how it just keeps us in a cycle that we don't want to be in and can't get out of is of a coworker. She had worked at this same facility that I did. This is back when I was treating in the clinic as a PTA, and she had been there for some time, way longer than I have. And she enjoyed what she did, but she wasn't completely happy. And she expressed this to me numerous times, and she hadn't even received a raise in 3 years. Like when she told me that, my mouth dropped open. Like, wait, what? Girl, you should have been given your 2 weeks, 3 years. And she was a mom and a wife. And so when I was applying to other jobs while I was at this clinic, I was telling her, like, there's so many opportunities, just apply. And I prompted her to just take the leap. But her response was seeing nothing but the obstacles, nothing but the challenges, nothing but all the reasons why she shouldn't. So I went off, got a great job offer, getting paid more than I had in my whole PTA career with so much flexibility in my schedule. And that just gave me so much more freedom. And she remained in a situation she wasn't happy in. I don't know if she ever got that raise, but I do hope that she did. And so you see that remaining problem focused just leaves you only seeing the challenges, the lack of this, or what you're not doing. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you discouraged, and it keeps you from seeing any progress you've made. And lastly, it inhibits your motivation. So when you're constantly problem focused, you don't have hope. The possibility of what is around you, what is within you, doesn't come into full focus. You are constantly zeroed in on what could go wrong. So being solution focused takes you out of your emotions for a second. It grounds you. Your brain only knows the narratives from the past, basically. That's the same thing it keeps playing over and over, and what's familiar with it. And so when you start to be solution focused, you're really stepping out of that narrative for once. You're saying, brain, hold up. I know this is all that you know, but let's step out of that narrative for a second. And then from this place, your brain will start to see solutions, right? So being solution focused provides generated momentum, clarity on what steps to take, resources that you actually have presently available, how to leverage the strengths you already have to be successful. And I know that it can feel like this is easier said than done, and it is. But there is a simple process you can walk through to start making the shift from being problem focused to solution focused. Don't get hard on yourself. This is a skill that you have to grow in. And as you do it more and more, it will start to become more like second nature. So let's get some pen to paper and just get all of our thoughts out about whatever circumstance that is going on, right? That's the first step when you're facing whatever it is and all you're seeing is problems and challenges. Then once you've done that, you're going to start to move on to these questions. And so these are questions you can ask yourself that will shift your focus to being solution focused. Now you can decide to ask all of these or just a few, but the important thing is notating and being aware of the moment you start answering them, how there is a shift not only in your brain, but in your body. So here's the first question. What have been your best experiences in accomplishing goals like this in the past? What structures and supports could assist you in being successful at reaching this goal? What is important about this goal? What results are you looking for? Who in your current season would be willing to support you in achieving this goal? So spend time reflecting on the answers to these questions, and you'll move from being stuck and overwhelmed to empowered and clear on where to start taking action. So these questions are helpful because they allow for you to draw on past, present, within, and around. So you're taking so much of your focus and energy off of the problems and focusing more on evidence for why you can, based on your past, based on what's presently around you, based on what's within you. And it's allowing for you to start seeing that evidence through those answers to start building up solutions. Your brain all of a sudden is like, oh yeah, we do have this evidence. Oh yeah, this did happen. Oh yeah, I do have this strength. Oh yeah, I do have this person in my life that can support me in this way. I actually can. fill in the blank. So that is the point of that exercise, to start shifting your brain. And as you practice this skill and you do it over and over, you start not to need the pen and paper. You start to just naturally respond and walk through, and being self-aware of saying, I'm being a very negative Nancy right now. Let me just step out of this narrative. Let me just really start to reflect on these questions. And I want to say that by being problem focused, it kept me from a lot of opportunities. And I'm incredibly grateful that I've grown in this skill, because I got offered the opportunity to have a promotion at my job, and old me would have only seen problems, all the reasons why I shouldn't take it. It would have just been a mountain of them. But this growth, this new elevated me, immediately saw solutions and possibility. And even though I didn't feel 100% confident, the solutions my brain offered, the possibilities my brain offered, reminding me of past evidence of things, reminding me of what was within me, who was around me, helped me to vocalize and advocate that I wanted that position. So I coach my clients through a solution-focused lens. I never tell them what to do, but empower them to generate the solutions only they would know. So no one knows you or your life better than you. People can make suggestions, give advice, recommendations, and trust who the source of that information is coming from. But that doesn't mean that you have to accept it and implement it into your life if you know it's not going to work or it's not going to fit where you're at. So my clients have had more success with achieving their goals, increasing their confidence, increasing their motivation, and have discovered something new about themselves that they never realized before, because I've been using a solution-focused perspective. So this is available to you as well, right? To gain the support that you need in navigating what you found through reflecting on those solution-focused questions, you can schedule a consultation with me to learn more about joining the Intermission, which is my unique wellness program that focuses on providing you with the pause that you've been looking for to gain the rest and the renewal that you need. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening in. If you enjoyed the episode today, head over and leave me a review. This helps others find the podcast and be one step closer to curating their healthy lifestyle. Come connect with me over on Instagram at Nike_Lamoti. And if social isn't your thing, join my beautiful newsletter community via the link in the show notes. To learn more about exclusive one-on-one wellness coaching, head over to randawellness.com. As always, remember to give yourself grace.